What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's all this stuff you trying to do, bro?
I got a lot today.
Oh man, too much time by yourself.
I got a lot of extra stuff today that I'm
Too
testing.
much time by yourself.
Maybe. What's up, fam?
What it is? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Happy Labor Day weekend. How's everyone doing? You got a lot of rest?
I don't know how to feel. I got
You
rest, but
should
I don't know how to
feel
feel. Like I still feel sluggish though.
Because you got too much rest.
I don't know. I don't feel energized. Like I don't feel ready to conquer the world.
You still act like it's about to be Monday. Like
I do. Like I've relaxed the last 2 days and don't feel like I'm ready to conquer the world still.
That's the problem.
If you say so.
What's up, fam? How's your Sunday been? Type in the chat. Let us know how your Sunday has been thus far. Let us know how you doing, how you feeling. Do you feel like Antonio, like you are sluggish? You're not ready to conquer the world, which I feel like today. And how many of y'all got to go to work tomorrow? Is everybody off tomorrow? Or do some people have to go to work tomorrow? I'm just wondering. Y'all type in the chat to tell me y'all got to go to work tomorrow.
We got 5 kids, so I know we ain't going nowhere near no work. I might slide out on you.
I was just going to say, no, I was going to slide out in the
How
morning.
you going to slide out on me? I'm planning on sliding out on you. Oh, man.
Deuces.
I'm sliding out first.
I did. You don't even wake up first.
Well, ain't no school tomorrow. You ain't gonna wake up early.
Who?
You.
You don't know me.
I do know you.
We'll see.
I know your life.
When you realize I'm gone.
I got it.
All right. Welcome to Wind Down with the Denmarks. Tonight's sponsor is... Let me get it together. It's REI Live. Birmingham, REI Live is a local community of investors, both experienced and beginner, that emphasizes a go-giving and collaboration over competition. We exist to educate, to instruct, and empower our local community to take action and make money in real estate while doing it. So shout out to REI Live Birmingham.
What is the next event?
The next event, I'm glad you asked. The next event is this Wednesday, which is our property walkthrough. Property walkthrough will be at 136 Skyline Drive in Tracyville, Alabama. This is an absolutely free event. Come out and support, come out and learn rehab. Find out what we did on this rehab and before it hits the market. Come look at it while we're getting ready to do our final punch list before it hits the market. And then after that, our next event is our third Tuesday of each month. This third Tuesday will be September 20th. We will have the infamous Nicole Ambrose, who is one of the top realtors in the United States. Honestly, she's the ultimate 1%. She's going to teach you how to take those leads, how to turn those leads into gold, how to turn them into cash, whether you are an investor or you are a real estate agent. She's going to show you how to take your leads to the next level and take massive action on it while doing it. So shout outs to REI Live for sponsoring this wine.
Some drink.
REI Live has sponsored Chris Pinot Grigio. It's a cute little bottle. You don't see it?
You bought it because it was cute?
REI Live bought this because it was cute.
Oh.
REI Live is one of our businesses. Why I do this?
Every day. Every day you try to go to the same moves. We're going to get us a pull-up song. Pull-up. So we're like, wow. I don't remember when we went to the winery. Is Bubbles good or bad?
Tanya, I don't know.
I remember they said that.
I don't know.
If you know more about wine than us, is Bubbles good or bad in your wine?
I
Because
would
this one
think
has
it's
minimal bubbles.
I would think it's bad. I would think it's air if there's a lot of bubbles. I mean, it's not champagne, so it shouldn't have bubbles.
We'll see.
Ooh, that's pretty good. It's not dry. It's
It
very
is
soft.
dry.
No, it could be drier. What's up, JC girl?
JC,
It could be
JC,
drier, but it has
JC.
like a crisp taste to it. Well, that is good.
That's different.
JC, have you been productive today, or has this been a relaxed? I want to say Saturday, but it's actually Sunday. Sunday for you. You want to talk about your day real quick and give a brief recap?
Recap of my day. I feel like I slept all day. I slept.
You went to the
Went to the
classic.
classic.
Aww.
Oh, growing up. Yeah, I slept all day. That's it. Play with the kids a little bit. That's it. What your day was? Well, you did play with this stuff all day.
I did not. You're so petty.
What you did all day, Ashley?
Woke up early, went to the store. I tried to get Antonio to come with me to the store so I can get some breakfast items and some things for lunch. He didn't move. And so I got baby Tonio to come with me. Me and baby Tonio went to Walmart, went shopping, had some fun, had some mommy son time. It was really good. He did a lot of talking. So it was really good. What's up, real estate coach Carter?
Coach Carter in the building.
After that, I feel like I've been seeing your ads on my Facebook page. Let me know if you've been running ads. So yeah, went with Tanya to the grocery store, got some breakfast, some lunch items. He tried to throw in extra stuff in my cart to run it up. Came home, wanted to do something different this morning for breakfast. Usually they're gonna get grits, eggs, bacon or sausage, maybe some biscuits. That's usually their typical breakfast on the weekend. So this morning I made some waffles with some fresh peaches on top and some whipped cream, uh, with some eggs and some sausage. So that was exciting. Everybody was excited. That was it. Then I what else did I do? Then I took a nap. I played with the kids a little bit. Then I cooked.
Don't forget you fussing now.
I didn't fuss at this point. Uh, my fussing came later when my house
Okay.
was destroyed from taking a massive nap.
Hmm.
Yeah, took an extra long nap, woke up, changed a few pampers, and went back to sleep. Then they told me they were starving, so I had to cook. I had to cook dinner because I missed lunch. They ate snacks for lunch. It was healthy snacks. It was fruit cups. It was fruit
It's
cups.
rough on the weekend. Wow.
It is. And then dinner, played with this a little bit.
You just really said play with this a little bit.
A little bit. Went to go pick up some wine, and that was our day.
All right. You, you got no notes. What were we talking about today? Um, I will say, don't forget to like the feed, share the feed, um, turn your notifications on the feed so that if somebody else you know interested in real estate, this would be a good one for them. This is going to be more so for your rookies, people who really don't understand real estate, who don't know real estate. But we're going to rely on some of our old heads to help us explain it. So stick around. Let's push through it. Let's do what we got to do.
All right. So, real estate 101. There's a couple different main things you can do when it comes to real estate. You can fix and flip it. All right. I think everybody knows fix and flip. So we'll just go over the basics and then
Let's
we'll
not
dig
assume
in.
everybody knows anything.
All right. Fix and flip is when you buy the house, you renovate it, and then you put it back on the market to sell resale. All right. That's fixing and flipping it. Um, Next is buy and hold. Buy and hold means you buy it. If you need to put some money into it, you will. Sometimes you have to, sometimes you don't. But you're holding it long term, typically to rent it out. That's why you would be buying and holding it. All right. And then there's wholesaling, where you get the house under contract from the seller, and then you sell that contract to a buyer, typically an investor like ourselves, someone that's either gonna renovate it, that's gonna buy it, renovate it, and flip it, or they're gonna buy it, renovate it to rent it out. All right.
I would do wholesaling first.
Your brain works differently than mine. And that's fine. As long as we get to the same destination. So again, there's wholesaling, there's buy and holding, and there's fix and flipping. We could just do it backwards. Who cares? Who cares? All right.
Pros and cons of each one.
All right. So wholesaling, a pro is you don't have to put the house in your name. Um, you basically you have to be a good marketer for it. You lock the house, put it under contract, and you find an investor for it and you sell it. You don't have to physically do any labor to it. You don't have to renovate it. You don't have to worry about having a loan and it takes too long to finish it. Those are the pros.
Um, it's the cheapest entry into real estate.
Definitely.
Because with wholesaling, you really just need a car, some gas, and you can ride around and find abandoned houses and make phone calls and get a house under contract and make a few dollars.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times you need funds. Typical investing says you need funds to buy and hold. You need funds to fix and flip. Wholesaling is the entry point for a lot of people when they don't have funds. So that is the pros of wholesaling when it comes to real estate.
All right. So next is buy or hold.
You know the cons?
I thought we was doing all pros. The cons for it? We can do that.
Well, left brain, right brain, boy.
And why are you looking like it's a problem?
So you're gonna go through all the pros for each one and then come back and go through all the cons for each one.
I'm still trying to figure out where's the problem.
We'll roll with your way.
Nope, we're gonna roll with your way because of that face.
Roll with your way.
All right. So some cons when it involves wholesaler. You gotta get some more wine after that.
I got a drink on that one now.
All right. So cons to wholesaling is you're not building your portfolio. You're not building your portfolio. You unless you're double closing, and we can talk about what that is next. But unless you're double closing, you really don't have traction when it comes to transaction. As far as I owned that house and I sold that house, it just looks like you never touched the house. Other cons is you have to spend. Typically, you got to spend a lot of marketing dollars to get the house under contract, and you have to follow it all the way through. So
I don't agree with it. You got to spend a lot of marketing dollars.
If you're trying to scale it and run a business, you got to spend a lot of marketing dollars. It depends.
I don't think there's more marketing dollars than fix and flip or buy and hold.
Well, a lot of them aren't spending any marketing dollars. They're getting it from the wholesaler.
Well, I think when you're saying
you got to spend some marketing dollars. Okay, we could take a lot out, but you got to spend some marketing dollars.
I don't think so. I wouldn't spend no marketing dollars.
As a wholesaler?
I wouldn't. I'm just telling you, I wouldn't spend no money as a wholesaler.
Well, how many wholesalers you know that don't spend no money in marketing? That's their bread and butter. Cold calling
when you're trying to scale your wholesaling business.
Cold calling is marketing.
You don't have to spend money to that. You can call the people yourself.
Yeah, you can.
Like,
yeah,
you can drive for dollars. Skip, trace it, and call.
Yeah.
Ain't no marketing money involved. Now, you trying to scale the wholesale business?
And I think I only talk from a scale level.
You got to come back down to the regular people like me. you kind of smart and all, but come on back down.
Marketing is always a must.
What's up, Frank?
Hey, Frank.
Yeah, come on down. So, what we talking about anyway? I don't know what we're talking about. Cons. You leave a lot of money on the table. I think that from a buy and hold and a fix and flipper as we are, you leave a lot of money on the table, and you're going to always have to work in order to make money. A lot of times, a flipper fixer and a buy and hold person, you can almost scale it to where it runs without you. But wholesaling is such a hard business to scale to where it runs without you.
Absolutely. That's the only time.
So we love you. Where your mic at? Technical difficulties.
Gotta be.
Appreciate that, Frank, man.
Thank you, Frank.
Appreciate that, man.
Gotcha.
Let me tell you what happened for real, though, Frank.
Hold up, you can't hear you yet.
Sidetrack. Can you hear me a little better now, Frank? Did you cut it off?
Yep. He can hear you. He said
okay. All right. She keeps trying to tell me that she's doing the StreamYard stuff and that she's testing it every day. But every day we sit down here to go live, the stuff don't work.
Wait, on Instagram.
On Instagram. I don't know what's going on, but it's about the 5th day in a row. I tested it and it's worked.
Not the 5th day.
It worked. 5th day in a row.
Friday.
It worked. It worked.
Mm-hmm.
But every time we sit here and go live, error. So we got to end up going back to the old faithful, go on the phone. So that's why she got a mic, because she thought it was going to work today, and it didn't. We ain't got no cheese, though. We got meat and crackers. You missed last night. I think we started meat and crackers last night.
On Friday.
All right. So that is wholesaling. There any questions about wholesaling as a general thing? You're basically selling paper. You make a spread. Let's say you get it under contract for $20,000 in our area. A typical wholesale fee is probably $5,000. You'll sell it to the end buyer for $25,000, and at closing you'll get the difference. So in a nutshell, that is wholesaling. You can do that all day, every day. Most realtors don't like wholesalers. There's usually a little tension, beef between the two.
But some realtors also are wholesalers.
Yeah, so we stay out of it. We in the middle, so we like both of them. So that is wholesaling. Wholesaling 101. That's the entry point for a lot of investors.
Typically, how it goes is you start off as a wholesaler, then you build up some capital so that you can start fixing and flipping.
Yeah.
And then from your fix and flip deals, you use that money that you made to buy your long-term rentals, your buy and holds.
Agreed.
So
no, I'm sorry.
That's typically how the strategy works. Antonio and I was backwards of the strategy. We did our buy and holds first, then we fix and flip, and then we started doing wholesaling.
We did straight backwards.
We were completely backwards.
Straight backwards.
We did our own thing, but we knew what the transgression, like the transition is supposed to be, but we didn't do it. Frank said, do y'all double close? Sometimes we do. Sometimes.
I would say we rarely double close. Like Ashley said, we have gotten to the wholesale game backwards. So for us, we are the type of people that will tell the end buyer, this is what we're making. This is the deal on hand. This is what's going on. If you don't like it, I just buy. So we kind of got that advantage to where we don't necessarily double close because we kind of being upfront. We mainly wholesale to our students. Mm-hmm. And we don't get necessarily big wholesale fees. It'd be small fees. But it's not nothing that we just absolutely have built a business on. We have recently started because we are the owner operators of REI Live. We've been making more connections and putting things together. But I would say before REI Live, which was a year ago, we only did a handful of wholesale deals. We just want to buy everything. We was greedy, just in transparency. We was greedy. If we seen it, we wanted to buy it and make the money and roll with it.
Um, but there are times where sometimes the seller doesn't quite understand, so we have to wholesale with a double close. But that's typically the only times, not public. That's typically the only time that we'll do it if the seller doesn't quite understand and is really weary on it. Then we'll do a double close.
All right. So
All
I see
right.
you say you start with rentals, Frank.
Hold on. Okay, go ahead, and then we'll go there.
Kind of tell us your progression. Where you got started at, kind of why you started there, and where you are today. So it might take a little time to type, so we'll kind of come back to it once you drop it in there, Frank. What you got there, here?
Hello, is wholesaling the same as driving for dollars? So, it is. Driving for dollars is a strategy for wholesaling. So basically, that's your marketing strategy when you're driving for dollars, because wait, that's your marketing strategy as a wholesaler, driving for dollars. Let me say that differently.
Yes.
Um, there's different ways to get a house under contract when you're a wholesaler. One is sending out letters, sending out postcards, driving for dollars, cold calling. So driving for dollars is a strategy that wholesalers use.
Yes. Good question.
It's a
So,
great
reach it
question.
higher. Good
Yeah,
question.
that's from YouTube. That was good stuff. Um,
I will say that if you are driving for dollars, um, just a quick nugget. There's an app, uh, deal machine that a lot of people use when they're driving for dollars, and we don't got no affiliate with deal machine. But when you
we
take
need
a
to.
picture with deal machine, it automatically sends the owner a postcard with the picture of the property on it to get them to call you back. So if you want to spend a little money, I would say deal machine would probably be my first investment when it comes to wholesaling. Because you can set up campaigns, you can set up different um, mails, postcards. You can set up how often you want to go out. Deal Machine is really good. I know a lot of wholesalers made a lot of money on Deal Machine, and you can get other people to use your Deal Machine to help send out postcards too.
Absolutely.
So I will say look into that if you're looking into wholesaling.
And you're welcome. Kathy LaShawn said, hey, hey, Kathy. Frank put his mentor was 99 and that was all he knew at the time. Plus properties were going for five to $10,000. I think that's exactly why we started when we started, Frank.
Yeah.
Because it was so easy to just buy a property. Do you remember how much our first property was?
Mm-hmm.
How much?
I paid $8,000 for two properties on the same night.
And we thought it came with a car, but it was the next door neighbor car. So it was a win during that time. Where why would you wholesale when you could just buy them from the auction at that
Yeah.
time? All right, so we talked about wholesaling. Next is buying home.
Buy it. You so backwards.
Flip.
Oh
All
my
right, fix
gosh.
and flip. We'll do it your way.
Before we go to fix and flip, one thing I will say is if you have aspirations of being a fix and flipper, the houses that you sell as a wholesaler, watch them. Watch what the fix and flip do to them. Watch what they sell for. Watch the rehab process. And you can learn a lot by watching their process and how they move to see what you want to do.
Yep, and I would also say reach back out to them and ask them how much did you spend on rehab? Did you go over budget? Did you go under budget? Just to go, just to get a deeper dive into it, so that way you're getting some information while you're watching. Um,
Facts.
The next is fix and flipping. Pros for fixing and flipping. You about to choke, right?
Man, I ain't dealing with you tonight, bro.
All right. So pros for fixing and flipping is typically you're gonna get a large chunk of change when you do it. Um, you get to see the house go from the not so good state to a pretty state. That's what everybody loves to see, the transformations of the house. So that's a really good thing. What else do you see for fix and flipping? What are other pros with fixing and flipping?
Other pros, man, I just like the bread.
The large lump
I like
sum.
the chunks. I like the change.
I think
Just
everybody does.
personally,
Yeah.
ain't too many more good pros that come behind fix and flip. What? Hey, the money.
All right. So it's a larger risk,
So you talk
but
about cons now.
no, I'm saying there's a larger risk, but it's a reward once you get it. All right. What's up, Nick? Hey, Nick.
Yeah. So I will say that some of the cons is you need to have some money, or you need to partner with somebody with some money. I will say it is the most riskiest form of investing because you can lose a lot of money
You can.
when you go to talk about fix and flipping the property.
You can.
You can buy it too high. You can spend too much on rehab. You can be the victim of a bad contractor. The market could change on you. Like it is a risky game when you go to talk about fix and flipping.
But if you don't take the risk, you don't get the reward. You know, big risk, big reward. Little risk, smaller reward.
Oh yeah, it is what it is. So you got to get some education. That's one thing I would really preach to anybody. Get some education before you get out here fixing and flipping.
Because even if you have a good run on it, just in complete honesty, you do enough of them, you're bound to lose some money. All right.
Yes.
So you can have a good run. You can have. I had some friends where they were having some great runs, and then once they became full time, it was like, whoa, where did all this come from? So
yeah,
you can have some great runs on it, but it's gonna catch up with you eventually.
Agree. Totally agree. Now that's what more people like to do is fix and flip.
I think that's what most people know. When they hear of real estate, they think of fixing and flipping.
Well, I think that's what the TV shows have portrayed.
Yes.
I think the fix and flip shows, it's a lot of them, and that's what people see. And I'm not telling you I don't watch them shows, but I'm gonna tell you this: those shows are not 100% accurate. They are shows. They are TV shows. They are meant for entertainment purposes. Some of those situations and some of those numbers be staged. Just being totally transparent with you. So just understand that. Don't take the TV show for face value.
Absolutely. That's a good point. That's a good point. You want to talk about our sponsors one more time?
Sure.
All right. Tonight's wine is Chris. It's a Pinot Grigio. Can you guys see it? It's sponsored by REI Live Birmingham. If you guys have not been to REI Live Birmingham, I would suggest you to make your way to REI Live. I promise you, you'll love it. You'll love it. Our next event is on Wednesday, September 7th, this Wednesday from 11:30 to 1. And we're walking through one of our properties that we walked through on June 1st. We're walking back through it in its finished state so you can see how we switched it from a 2-bedroom, 2-bath to a 3-bedroom, 2-bath.
With an open floor plan.
With an open floor plan. So it's this Wednesday, 11:30 a.m. And then we are also having an event on September 20th with Nicole Ambrose. If you haven't heard about Nicole Ambrose, if you haven't listened to Nicole Ambrose, you are doing a disservice to yourself. Nicole is one of the top realtors in the United States, where she focuses on helping other realtors and investors really get their leads, take their leads to a next level, and capitalize on your leads. So she'll be speaking to us at REI Live on September 20th at Vulcan Park and Museum on how you can really take your leads to the next level. So shout out to REI Live Birmingham for sponsoring tonight. And let's get back to it.
All right. Frank say I currently do everything real estate, fix and flip, wholesale over 40 properties, currently control 22 properties. You the man. I wish I had a hat on. I could tip that
Definitely.
thing off to you, man. That's some great work, Frank, man. Um, if you don't follow Frank, he always dropping jewels on IG. He got a whole lot of videos, a whole lot of knowledge. So I will say give him a shout out. What's his? I can't even.
Pro prop nice.
Prop Nice on IG. Hit him up. Talk to him. All right. So I would say the last of the three. Any questions about fix and flip? Any questions about wholesale? So keep in mind, we've done it all. We just got our preference on what we like to do. So we can honestly teach you how to do all of them. So if you got questions about wholesale, if you got questions about fix
Fix
and
and
flip,
flip.
ask your questions right now. Even the basic questions. This is real estate 101. Like next week when we go to talking about whole
Creative
subject twos
financing.
and owner financing and wraparound mortgage, you got to understand this stuff to even understand that stuff.
Definitely.
So if you got any questions, I mean, drop your questions about wholesaling, drop your questions about fix and flip. We're going to talk about buy and hold next.
All right. So buying and holding is basically what you when you have your rental properties. All right. So when you see people and oh, you just dropped all of that. When you see people and they have their rental properties, that's what buying and holding is. Post post our cash app. You know that's what Tony was talking about. It'll grow on me, Frank.
I appreciate it. You would think I called you and told you that, Frank. I was like, we tell people to sponsor, but we ain't even give them how to sponsor. She's like, nah, I don't want to do that. Good job, Frank. I appreciate that. It might grow on it a little bit. I planted the seed and you just pour a gallon of water on it, baby. My boy.
OMG. So look, not wholesaling. Buy and hold is when you're buying a property, you may put a little money into it, but your whole key and your whole exit strategy is to hold it, let that appreciate, build some equity in it before you sell it. Some people never sell, some people sell in a few years. It kind of depends on what your exit strategy is and what the market is telling you at that moment. A lot of investors buy and hold. That is the key to wealth. The more properties you have from a buy and hold standpoint, more generational wealth you create. All right.
Is Armin alive who I think it is?
Who do you think it is?
That chill?
No, that would be Chill Miller. No, our Miller is the guy we met with Ramon.
Oh, what's up, bro? I'm gonna get on IG. I'm gonna learn the IG names. Nothing personal. I just don't be on IG. Now, if you was on Facebook, I could have told you your last three stores.
Oh, that is a good one. We can do that, Frank. We can
Ooh.
do that.
What's up, Reggie? How to find good tenants. Which one would that fall under?
Real estate.
Not one on one. Maybe we're gonna put that in next week, Frank. It'll fall under one of them 7 categories we got.
How can we help you?
No, later.
Don't come back. Like Elsa, don't come back.
Don't come back. Yeah, I know on the weekends they stay up to whenever, so excuse the kiddos.
Aaliyah, close the door.
Aaliyah. Aaliyah.
You gotta mute before you.
Close the door.
It doesn't close on its own. All right, so pros with buying and holding. Buying and holding.
Got a question.
Okay, I'm gonna do it once I finish this. Pros with buying and holding. Buying and holding is gonna create that generational wealth. You are gonna get cash flow with it, or you should be getting cash flow with it. Um, Tax appreciation. You're paying less on taxes when you're buying and holding because you can depreciate different items. So taxes are actually better, in my opinion, for a buy and hold. You're taxed with long term capital gains instead of short term capital
That's
gains.
if you say like
if you sell. Yes. What are some other pros with?
Uh, Other pros is a lot of times that's the key to generational wealth, like you said. Um, if you use financing, your tenant will pay down your mortgage over time, and ideally you get appreciation creating equity. Um, Buy and hold is what we call passive income. The ideal goal to get out of the rat race is to have enough passive income to pay your month to month expenses. So, long term, I will say that even if you buy property wrong with a buy and hold strategy, time will forgive you.
Yes.
That's one thing I will say. It is one of the safest ways to invest in real estate is over time, because real estate is a cycle. It goes up and down. And over time, if you are getting the cash flow and you got a good tenant, you will be forgiven even if you bought the property wrong.
Absolutely. So buying and holding is the safest place. What are some cons when it comes to buying and holding?
Ooh, I can tell you the biggest con is you're gonna probably have to deal with some tenants.
You're gonna have to deal with tenants. You're not gonna get a lump sum. I think that's probably a big.
Yes.
You're gonna get cash flow, but it's just a little bit of money versus that 20 to 30 that you'll get, maybe 40 or 50 in a flip, depending on what area you do it in. Um, and that's the only really.
Yeah, that
That's the
tenant, more than
only.
likely that tenant, you get a good tenant, you'll be okay from the buy and hold standpoint.
Yes.
You're gonna deal with repairs unless you get a property management company to take care of it
And
for
you're
you.
still gonna do repairs. They'll just do it for you if you allow them to, but you still have repairs that you're gonna back out of what you're making.
Okay.
All right. So Miss Kathy said, "What is the inexpensive way to invest in real estate for the first time?" Oh, I think the most inexpensive way to invest in real estate, and then Tanya and I are gonna have completely different
So
answers,
I got my answer.
is partnerships.
Look at you. Give me some. That was my answer too, girl.
So partnering with someone is probably the inexpensive way. Becoming a partner, partnering on a deal so that you both can build up that capital so that you can invest more. So partnering, I know some friends who have partnered on apartments together, who've partnered on commercial buildings together, just as an entry point, or even as private money lenders as an entry point to really get into real estate.
Agree. Um, Prop Nice put, what type of neighborhoods y'all buy in and why?
So we like the B, C class neighborhoods is what we like to buy in. You want to C class means it's about 50-50 when it comes to renters in the area and home buyers in the area. So that's what your C class area means. And then your B class is more of the 75%
Yeah,
are homeowners and about 30%,
25%.
25 to 30% are renters.
I will say though, Frank, when we started, all we bought was D class.
D as in dog.
D as in dog, correct? Because that's where the $5,000 and $10,000 properties was, and with our limited knowledge, that's all we could afford. So we bought in D class, we rehabbed in D class, and we actually started our journey in the D class area. Um, I wouldn't necessarily change it because I learned a lot, but that's not where I would coach somebody to start. I would coach it a whole lot different than how we started, but at the same time, I wouldn't change our journey because that journey helped us develop into what we do now, which is the ex flipper method.
Absolutely. Um, and what made us, because he put and why. So what made us go to a BC class is because we realized with the same amount of money, if we used a hard money lender or a private money lender, we can put out the same amount of money but get a better quality house, which as the end result gives you better quality tenants. So that's what made us shift Now, the reason why we don't do A class when it comes to what we do is it's hard to cash flow when you're doing buy and hold in an A class area where your DSCR, which is your debt service coverage ratio, when you're going to refinance, where it covers it. So that's the only reason why we don't do A class areas is because it's really hard for those numbers to really align together, even if you are getting a little cash flow. Typically, the DSCR doesn't match.
So I will say that we flip in A and B areas.
Mm-hmm.
We do our X flipper method in B and C areas. We mainly wholesale D areas. So that's kind of how if we have a wholesaler that's saying, "What's your buy box?" We don't have a buy box because we have a exit strategy for a $20,000 property or a $200,000 property. So send me all your deals and I'll decide what to do with it. So that's kind of our investment strategy, looking into our brains and our thoughts. We flip in A and B, we X flipper in B and C, we wholesale in D. Unless we have a student, we'll wholesale in B or C because that's what we teach. And a lot of times we are helping them get their investment journey on their way.
Good
But
answer.
a lot of the hedge funds buy in the D class area because they're looking for the cash flow. And that's all they're looking at is a ROI on their investment.
All right, I think we covered it all.
Because we want to talk about um any of our experience, people want to talk about how they started. I know Frank talked about how he started. Anybody want to talk about how they started or where they invest and why? I know we kind of have a mixture of new and experience on here. So if you want to kind of tell us your story quickly, we got a whole hour to go through it all, but Cliff noted for Cliff noted for us. We good. Tomorrow is Monday. We going again Monday. What is our topic tomorrow?
Oh boy, you was saying it like you knew. What you said?
I asked you what's the topic for
I
tomorrow.
thought I saw your mouth gibber and jabber. Let me look. I'm not 100% sure. You make a lot of posts.
Get up on my Facebook, bro.
Monday we talk about rehabs.
Rehabs again.
Rehabs.
We're going back at rehabs. So if you type in something, let us know. If you got any questions about wholesaling, buying whole, fix and flip, let us know. We're here to answer whatever you got.
As you guys write it in, I'll tell you guys what we do. We do a combination of buy and hold and fix and flip. When we do our ex flipper strategy, we are buying the property, renovating the property, so doing a rehab as if we're going to flip the property. Um, and then we're burned out of it, putting a lease option tenant buyer in it. We help them so that they can buy, and once they're able to buy, that's when we sell it. So we do a combination of it when we do ours. Most of the time, our tenant buyers are 6 month to a year clients. So we can get in and out pretty quickly when it comes to buying and holding. Well, when it comes to the strategy. So we consider ours to be like a slow flip, where instead of immediately turning around, most of the time we're going to refinance it. And in a year and a half is typically our sweet spot for getting out and getting our returns instead of holding it over 30 years. You gonna say something?
Nope, we got a question coming in though.
Y'all thoughts on multi units versus single family? So I'm all for multi units. Tonyo is not quite there yet, but I'm getting him on the commercial side. He's slowly buying into the commercial thought, so I think he'll buy into multifamily. I think it's a great if you have the capital for it, even if you don't have the capital, when you can partner with some people to have it, I think it's wonderful personally. Um, as long as the numbers make sense. As long as you're cash flowing, as long as you're making some money, I think it makes sense. But if you're not cash flowing, then you might as well do single family.
Um, and I'm not against multifamily units. I believe that it's a great way to build cash flow. It's a great way to build equity. It is a great way to force appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, what was that lady name who spoke about multifamily in our master?
Candace.
Candace. Candace showed us how you can add washing dryers, how you can add increase the rent. A lot of things you can do to force the valuation of your property to go up. So I'm not against it.
I think you understand it more than you did
I
before.
understand it way more than I did before, but I am a type of person that believes in mastering one thing before you move on to something else. That is, I do believe in going a mile deep rather than a mile wide and being a jack of all trades. I would rather get my riches in the niches. And we found our lane and we are mastering our lane. And multifamily is on the tip. We've looked at some. We've opened, we haven't made any offers yet, but we have been analyzing and learning that process. So,
Absolutely.
not against multi, but I believe if I'm doing what I do best, it's better than multifamily. Just my personal belief.
I feel like Frank feels the same way. He says honestly, single family can out profit multi units.
That's just me. If I can, from a cash standpoint, if I can do what I do, it will outperform multifamily properties. My personal opinion. We can battle it. Somebody else that likes multifamily, tomato, tomato.
I think whatever you're gonna do, just get in the game. Don't spend so much time analyzing and looking at it to where you get analysis paralysis and you never want to do it. Well, you do it in your head where you don't really do it for real. So get in the game, do it, learn it, get you some education. I'm gonna always tell y'all to get education, y'all.
Facts.
I'm gonna always preach that. And just because you don't even do your job without education. You expect when you go to a new job, you expect them to train you. So when you start investing in real estate, get training because you can lose a lot of money in real estate, and it's only your fault if you didn't get education. It's no one
Yep.
else's fault. It's only your fault because you didn't do the due diligence. You didn't get proper education. So get education, learn, um, and do what you do. Definitely, Frank said, keep in mind that if you're doing apartments, you'll be dealing with multiple personalities with apartment buildings. You definitely will. You
Agree.
definitely will.
Agree.
All right. I
All
think we
right.
are wind down for tonight. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow.
Turn up tomorrow. What's
Same
tomorrow?
place,
Rehab
same
again.
time. Rehab. Have a wonderful Labor Day. Have a safe Labor Day.
Don't eat all that barbecue.
Eat some barbecue.
Don't
Eat some barbecue.
eat all that barbecue.
Get a gas propane for my grill. That's
We
your
ain't even gonna, we ain't even gonna
that's
open
your
that can of
that's
worms.
your task for
I got
tomorrow.
you. I got you.
Y'all hear that? We're
I
gonna talk
got you.
about it tomorrow. You're gonna hold
I
them
got one in
accountable.
I got one in 301 for you right now.
And it worked. No, he ran out. He told me it ran out.
It's two on.
One of them was
I'll fill it
his.
up.
Okay. We got one you can fill up right there. Why y'all go all the way over there?
We'll see if you cook
All right, y'all.
them.
I love you. Have a wonderful night.
Thanks y'all for staying up with
Thank
us.
you for coming. Peace.
Peace.